If you played a bit of Terraria, you should be familiar with a few difficulties present. You have Journey mode, being basically creative mode. You have normal mode, which is for people too scared to play on expert mode. You have expert mode, for people too scared to play on master mode. And then master mode, for people that actually want to struggle when playing Terraria. You also have some hidden difficulties like legendary mode, requiring you to play on a world with a special seed. This is supposed to be the hardest difficulty, with tons of traps and confusing world generation. But what if I created my own hardest difficulty, by smashing multiple mods together to make a difficulty that is so unforgivable and so extreme that beating the game with it will be considered almost impossible? Well, that is exactly what we do in this video. Well, let's create a world. I'm gonna put it in classic mode since any other difficulty would be way too difficult. Oh yeah, you can only play this in master mode. It wouldn't be that hard otherwise, huh? Okay, now that we are in the world, I guess we can start by chopping down a tree. Oh yeah, this is gonna be annoying, isn't it? Because in this difficulty, the max stack for items is only 1. And you will also notice when you jump that you fall extremely slowly, whatever you do, even if you have wings. At this point, I will recommend to make a chest and some spare tools as soon as possible. Death is so extremely punishing that dying will void all of your items. And you also have to wait an entire minute before spawning back in. And when you spawn back, you have only 1 HP. Good luck! And maybe even more punishing than dying is simply getting hit by an enemy, which trust me will happen a lot. And you can ask yourself, how can you find something even more punishing than losing all of your items and having to wait a long time? Yeah, the game crashed. There is a 10% chance for your game to crash when getting hit. And if you survive that, there is an additional 1% chance to lose all of your items when getting hit. But you probably won't have to worry about getting hit too much, since even the most basic enemies like slimes will deal a minimum of 100 damage, while you only have 50 HP. Because yes, your health has been cut in half, meaning that your maximum HP will be 200 instead of 400, and same thing for mana. And that's not the only stat being cut in half. You also have wing time cut in half, defense cut in half, luck reduced by 30%, fishing power and bait power cut in half, mana cost multiplied by 2, and perhaps the funniest of all, critical strike chance is being reduced by 10,000%. So it will be virtually impossible to hit a single critical strike chance in your entire playthrough. Because why not? And all of this is barely scratching the surface of the sheer difficulty added by those mods. Because now it's time to talk about the enemies. And oh boy, do we have some things to talk about. First of all, every world you will create will be in master mode and start directly at the beginning of hard mode. So you have to face hard mode enemies right at the beginning of the game. Enemies that will have a massive amount of HP, which you can't even see, because the UI telling you the state of their health is just gone. And that's not all for enemies, far from it. You'll notice that this slime looks pretty odd, isn't it? Well, this is because of the all new enemy modifiers added. Every enemy will now get 3 completely stupid modifiers like chaotic, which will grant to the enemy the ability to teleport randomly every 4 seconds, or cloning, which will spawn 2 of the same NPC after death. And the spawned NPCs also have 3 modifiers, which will have a chance to also be cloning, creating basically infinite versions of enemies. So without even being able to kill a single slime, you may want to let your anger out on the wildlife. Like this undying chaotic cloning weakness worm over here. Nope, you're not doing that either, because every NPC will drop exploding moon boulders after dying. Because why not? It might not seem that crazy, but paired with the cloning modifiers, it makes killing enemies extremely difficult. Just look at what happens when you try to kill the king slime. And if you still think that this difficulty is possible, the last nail in the coffin is the removal of invincibility frame. In vanilla Terraria, to make the game more fair, you gain invincibility for 0.67 seconds after getting hit. It's also something that is very common in many games. Well, here you can throw it all away, because in this difficulty, if, for example, a damaging projectile goes through you, You will get hit and receive damage for every frame in which the projectile is inside of your hitbox. But wait, there is a 10% chance for your game to crash when getting hit. Yeah, there is a good chance that getting hit once will result in a crash. When I say that this difficulty is punishing, I really mean it. And if you thought that you could make a little town and break some NPCs to get comfort, well still, no! Town NPCs will hurt you if you touch them, and some of them will even attack you, but you will still be able to interact with them and buy things for them, which creates a pretty weird relationship. I guess that this mod just makes the town NPCs introverts. And if all of this wasn't enough, there are still many other Walls of Life features, including boss health completely removed. You have to blink every 30 seconds. The screen gets darker as you get deeper in your world. Shimmer is removed from the world. Torches are way dimmer than in vanilla Terraria. Breaking a tombstone will make a ghost spawn. Breaking a jar will make bees spawn. Mining earthstone will make lava slime spawn. And campfires will give you a debuff instead of a buff. And that is pretty much all of the stupid and unforgivable features that are added in this difficulty. But I believe that the best way to feel just how impossible this difficulty is to simply play it yourself. If you're brave enough, you can download the mod pack containing all of the mods. Even though I am convinced that this difficulty is simply impossible, you can try to prove me wrong. I wish everybody that will try this difficulty to find help and touch grass. And for everybody else, I will see you in the next video.